Thank you, Katya. Good morning. My name is Brian Baker, and I'm the Director of Music here at UUCB. Oh, it must be time to start. At UUCB, my pronouns are he, him, and his. And welcome to Music Sunday, when we have a little extra music and maybe fewer words than some other Sundays. I'm so glad to see all of you here and those who are joining us on the live stream. It's amazing to have the option now to be in person together again. The pandemic certainly turned our worlds around, and none of us is exactly the same that we were before. We weren't changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, but we were certainly changed over the course of 2 years. We're sort of awakening to a new normal, some sort of possibly a life reframed. And I think for me, the pandemic, I said, turned the world around. It turned my life upside down, maybe inside out. And I'm wondering now, who am I after all of that? And what journey do I want to keep going on, or do I want to change and make? The journey can be at any point in your life. It can be fresh. Everything can be fresh. That option is always available to us, I think. And life has the potential for so many things. We have the potential for so many things. Today's service is going to look at fresh starts and music, which talks about fresh starts, whether it's early in life or somewhere further down the road. And we want to look at, can music do something fresh that crosses boundaries, melds genres in a new way, unites things which have for so long been divided? So I said the pandemic turned the world around, and Turn the World Around is our first song this morning, Harry Belafonte's wonderful tune. And those who feel so comfortable doing so, please rise and join in singing. The words will be up on the screen, Turn the World Around.
We come from the fire, living in the fire, go back to the fire, turn the world around. We come from the water, living in the water, go back to the water, turn the world around. We come from the mountain, living in the mountain, go back to the mountain, turn the world around. Oh, so is life. Ah, so is life. Oh, so is life. Sunlight, turn the world around. Heart is of the river, body is the mountain, spirit is the sunlight, turn the world around. We are of the Spirit, truly of the Spirit, only and the Spirit, turn the world around. Oh, so is life a mighty one. So is life. Oh, so is life a mighty one. So is life. Oh, so is life a mighty one. So is life. Oh,
Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Berkeley. It is so good to see so many of your beautiful and masked faces. I am Andrea Brown. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm going to be your worship associate here today. This is a welcoming congregation, and we are always working on welcoming and caring for one another. If this is your first time here, we're so glad you've come. And whoever you are, we welcome you in the fullness of who you are. As we are gathering here in our sanctuary, we'd like to remind you about the upgraded air exchange systems. They exceed the CDC guidelines or recommendations and give us the equivalent of outdoor air. And now finally we also have a heater, and I'm so excited because it's much more comfortable for me. I hope for you as well. And this is also regardless of whether the doors in the sanctuary are open or closed. We also want to acknowledge that this church occupies land in Huichin, the unceded territory of the Chochenyo-speaking Ohlone people. We understand that we continue to benefit from the seizure and occupation of this land. We acknowledge and embrace our responsibility to take restorative action. We affirm that this is deeply felt and commit our congregation to be in right relationship with Indigenous communities, aligning in solidarity, and supporting Indigenous projects and caring properly for the land. If you are just joining us on live stream, take a moment to prepare your space and our time together. Now, as Brian lights the chalice flame, let's kindle our own flames along with him with these words by Jim Scott. May your life be as a song, resonating with the dawn to sing awake the light, and softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night. We also pause to remind ourselves of some of the foundations that we live on. So Brian will also light a candle for the acts of service, a candle of fellowship, a candle of hope, and a candle of courage. May we find and cultivate these in ourselves and each other. And one more. Please join me in saying our covenant. Love guides this church. The quest for truth and justice is its common purpose. To give thanks, listen deeply, speak with care, honor our differences, and seek and grant forgiveness. These things we covenant with one another. Now, please rise or stay where you are, whatever is most comfortable, and join together in singing the hymn from the gray hymnal, number 108, My Life Flows On in Endless Song. The words will also be on the screen.
That How can I keep from singing when tyrants tremble as they hear the bells of freedom ringing, when friends rejoice far and near? How can I keep from singing through prison cell and dungeon vile? Our thoughts to them are winging, when friends by shame are undefiled. How can I keep from singing?
One, each person is important. Two, be kind and only two. Three, we help each other learn. Four, and search for what is true. Five, all people need a voice. Six, build a fair and peaceful world. Seven, we take care of the earth, which will bring us back to UUCB Church.
Thank you, Vivian. We are now to have time for all ages. Vivian is right where all young people and young at heart people should be.
This is a show and tell version, so feel free to come on up and look a little bit closer. So today we have 3 guest instrumentalists with us, and you're about to meet them. The first one is Pat Klobos, and he plays the double bass. And the double bass is what a rich, amazing low sound. I always wished I could make those sounds with my voice. Katie?
Now we'd like to show you the flute, which is not gonna sound low like that. It's gonna sound different. And next, we'd like to introduce you to our percussion, our rhythm section. Well, I mean, the bass also functions as our rhythm section. But we have Victor on a drum kit.
And I told our wonderful sound folk that I didn't think we needed a mic for the percussion. We don't. That's great. So we have Victor and Kelsey and Pat, and we're really glad they're here. There are no RE classes today, so everybody gets to stay in the sanctuary. So those folks who came up for the show and tell, thank you. You can head on back to the pews now if you'd like, or wherever it is you're headed. So next, my three friends here and I are going to join in music by the French composer Claude Bolling. He was a giant of French jazz pianists. And at one point, he wanted to do something different. He wanted to meld two genres. So he worked with the great French flute player Jean-Pierre Rampal. How many of you have heard of Rampal? Yeah. So Bolling and his jazz trio, plus the flute player, who was primarily a classical player, he created a suite based a little bit on the idea of the Baroque suite, which was a series of short movements, and then he interpolated in various ways jazz elements to something which was kind of classical. So he took two elements, combined them, made them completely fresh. Sometimes they're back and forth, sometimes they're together. It's called Baroque to Blue, for kind of the obvious reason that he's taking a Baroque form and elements of a Baroque form, and then a little bit of blues harmony. So I hope you like this one. It's a lot of fun, I think. Effervescent is the word I like for this music.
The American composer and lyricist Carol Hall, born in 1936 and living a full 82 years of life, is most remembered for the composition of the Broadway musical, The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. Barbra Streisand, Tony Bennett, Cheetah Rivera, and Kermit the Frog are among the many, many performers who have recorded her music. She wrote the short song that you're about to hear as a baby gift for a friend after the birth of her first child. Claire McElfresh arranged it for chorus, sung this morning by our very own adult choir, Luminescence, directed by Brian Baker. Soon, we're going to be hearing a song from the wonderful American composer Gwyneth Walker, still alive, kicking, and composing on her farm in Vermont. In this, she sets a poem by another New Englander, May Sarton, who died 25 years ago. At any point in life, we can always become more of who we are. We can refresh, renew, remake our life, start a new chapter, creating a deeper sense of ourself. Some of us may have found a glimmer of that during the pandemic. Some of us may have found it as we are beginning to emerge from isolation. And for some of us, it comes with the large life changes that always happen in our lives. So here is May Sarton's poem, Now I Become Myself. Now I become myself. It's taken time, many years and places. I've been dissolved and shaken, worn other people's faces, run madly as if time were there, terribly old, crying a warning, hurry, you'll be dead before. What? Before you reach the morning? Or the end of the poem is clear? Or love safe in the walled city? Now, to stand still, to be here, to feel my own weight and density. The black shadow on the paper is my hand, a shadow of a word, as thought shapes the shaper, falls heavy on the page is heard. All fuses now, falls into place, from wish to action, word to silence. My work, my love, my time, my face. Gathered into one intense gesture of growing like a plant, as slowly as the ripening fruit, fertile, detached, and always spent, falls, but does not exhaust the root. So, all the poem can give, grows in me to become the song, made so and rooted by love. Now there is time, and time is young. Oh, it's in this single hour I live, all of myself, and do not move. I, the pursued, who madly ran, stand still, and stop the sun. Soprano Michelle Volaki will sing Gwyneth Walker's song, accompanied by Brian Baker.
Now we enter into a time we make for our hearts and spirits, for our cares, for our concerns for one another. We lift up and hold the joys and sorrows, the cares and concerns, challenges that we may each face. I invite you to share those joys, sorrows, significant milestones aloud into this space, or if you're on live stream, into the comments section. And I invite all of us to hold all of these cares in a compassionate embrace. And these words by or inspired by Gretchen Halley's Step Zero. If you had the chance to start again, to decide what sort of person you would be, who you would love, and the content of your days, what songs would you sing? What prayers would you say? What blessings would you share? If you could now take that first step, what journey would you begin? No magic is required, for a chance is always possible, with the in and the out of a breath. To begin now to live as we want to, as we mean to see with new eyes that the life we choose is already and always has been available. And now I invite you into a meditation with music. My friends will come back to the chancel for more music from Claude Bowling's Suite for Flute and Jazz Piano. This one is called Sentimental. Again, the composer mixes the genres, classical, jazz, and he takes us on a luxurious 7.5-minute journey. Perhaps it will inspire you to think about your journey, the journey you have taken, and the journey you may take going forward.
As we commit together to making this a loving community, it's time to remind ourselves that UUCB needs our gifts and support. So now we invite you to make an offering. For this time, we'll conduct the offering without passing the plate. Instead, if you're here in this sanctuary, you can either give electronically or you can grab a donation envelope from the back of the pew right in front of you and put it, and your donation, of course, into the donation box which sits beside the fountain in the atrium. There are also a number of ways you can give electronically. If you look at the back of your name tag, there is a QR, like this little QR code thing, and you take a picture of it, and it'll take you to a website where you'll see our giving page and a number that can be used for a text to give. For folks at home, directions for giving will be on the screen. And for everyone, please indicate whether this is a plate or pledge donation. Each week, half of our offerings are shared with a good neighbor organization that needs our financial support. This month, our Good Neighbor organization is Yes, Nature to Neighborhoods. In partnership with nature, Yes nurtures leaders who champion the well-being of our community. Their vision is for Richmond youths, adults, and families to live healthy, connected lives, motivated for change in their neighborhoods, and inspired a safe, thriving community. In a moment, we'll watch a short video from Vincel Alfred, the Camp 2 Community Fellows Coordinator of Yes. Slight note, this video was shot in front of a playground so they can show some of the wonderful things that they are doing. There is some background noise, the sounds of creaking of swings, and other parts of life. Offerings of any value are received with gratitude. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Vincel Alfred. I'm the Camp 2 Community Fellows Coordinator at Yes Nature to Neighborhoods. We're a community-based organization here in Richmond, and we specialize in youth development on a youth development pathway that takes youth from age 8 to age 18 and beyond in their leadership development. Personally, I coordinate outings from backpacking to mountain biking. We also have excursions that include, longer backpacking trips and summer leadership as well. We will be having a lot of events in here in April, pardon me. That will be include our camp days where we coordinate with camp partners and have a day in the park at Miller Knox. There'll also be a mountain bike ride that day, and we'll also be having a backpacking overnight outing at Samuel P. Taylor State Park. We are also, there's going to be on May 21st, we'll be having a fundraiser event down by the bay at Point Malati, specifically at Point San Pablo, if you're interested. So you can please visit our website at yesfamilies.org to get further information on that. We really appreciate your support of these youth and their development and their leadership and their endeavors going forward beyond high school.
Fire inside that burns so bright begins to grow faded. It can be hard to see the ground on which you stand, though you may not be afraid of walking in the darkness. You will feel like a stranger in this land. You can try to carve a faith out of your own, but a broken spirit may dry out the bone, and the edges of the night may cause you sorrow. You know I may not be around this time tomorrow, but I'll always be with you. When the hope that you hold tightly to has all but vanished, and there are no words of comfort to be found, you will know what it means to be lost and without love. May you fight to kill that deafening sound. But our holy dreams of yesterday aren't gone. They still haunt us like the ghosts of Babylon. And the breaking of the day might bring you sorrow. You know I may not be around this time tomorrow, but I'll always be with you. You can try to carve a faith out of your own, but a broken spirit may dry out the bone, and the edges of the night may cause you sorrow. You know I may not be around this time tomorrow, but our holy dreams of yesterday are gone. They still haunt us like the ghosts of Babylon. And the breaking of the day might bring you sorrow. You know I may not be around this time tomorrow, but I'll always be with you. I'll always be with you. I'll always be with you.
Please join me in dedicating our offering. We dedicate our offering and ourselves to the mission of this congregation, to create loving community, inspire spiritual growth, and encourage lives of integrity, joy, and service.
It has been so good to be together today. A reminder that you can check out our website to find all the many, many things that are going on at UUCB. I'm just going to highlight a couple of them. You can join us here on Friday, April 8th. April 9th. That's not very far away. That's Saturday night for Daniel Schmidt's 80th birthday. Woohoo! Many of us don't know, but Daniel is an absolute treasure in the whole world for fostering music and culture of the gamelan, musical culture of the gamelan, which is the native sort of music of Indonesia. And he's going to be celebrating his 80th with lots of music, and it's music you definitely want to hear if you've not heard it before. If you've heard it before, you'll definitely want to hear it. You'll know that already. You can get tickets on brown paper tickets. There's more information on our Facebook page. And then if you are a member of UUCB, please take the Ministerial Search Committee Formation poll. The poll to make a committee to look for the new minister, because Reverend Michelle will not be with us forever. She is an interim. Questions and answers and information regarding Freestone will be happening next Sunday after the service, also on the 24th after the service, and Tuesday evening the 12th on Zoom. Again, all of that is available on the website, those dates. There was an information packet that went out this weekend, so you should receive it very soon. And one unscripted announcement. This has been by far the most complicated audio-visual setup we have had in a service. Can I ask those folks in the back to please stand up, and would you say thank you to them? They do such a wonderful job, and 90% of the time all they hear are the complaints. But I won't have any complaints today because I think it was fantastic. Our closing song is a spiritual. And as you may know, most of the music we perform and share, much of the music we perform and share, we pay royalties for. We can't pay for royalties for spirituals because we don't know who wrote them. We only know that, well, I think they are possibly the single most valuable music to come out of America. So I've wanted to be able to recognize that somehow. And thanks to Charis Domador, who forwarded an email, I became aware that a very small number of groups, organizations in the country now are making donations to good organizations which support African American communities. And so I did some research and I found one that supports young black composers beginning their journey. And so every time we do a spiritual at UUCB now, we'll make a donation. I made the donation for the last couple months and support this organization which fosters black American composers. Please, as you are comfortable, please sing, please rise and join in. Come and go with me, number 1018 in the teal hymnal. The words will be up on the screen.
Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that
we extinguish the chalice, but not the light of truth and not the energy of action. Whatever journey you are on, may it flow like a song.